It's a Tuesday night. You just got home from work. You're tired in that specific way where you don't want to make a single decision ever again. So you sit down, open your phone, and without really thinking, you open DoorDash. You scroll for a few minutes, pick something familiar, add it to the cart. The burger is maybe $16. Then there's a delivery fee, a service fee, a tip because you feel guilty not tipping. And suddenly, you're looking at $34 for food you didn't really plan on buying. You close the app, open Instagram, see something you've been meaning to get, add to cart, check out, done. And here's the thing, you're not even that surprised. This is just Tuesday. This is just how it goes. But what if I told you that pattern, that exact sequence of small, invisible decisions, is the reason most people never get ahead financially? And what if the fix wasn't a budget, wasn't a side hustle, wasn't some complicated investment strategy? What if it was just a routine, one you run on payday, every single time? That's what changed everything for me. Let me show you what's actually happening to your money. Payday hits. For a moment, everything feels fine. You look at your account and feel a quiet sense of relief. Okay, we're good. And then, almost immediately, life starts taking pieces of it. Rent, car payment, utilities, maybe you owe a friend back. Some of it disappears before you even register it as yours. Then the weekend comes, and you're tired, the week was long, so you spend a little to recover. Not extravagantly, just a dinner out, a few drinks, maybe an online order or two because you've been meaning to get that thing and now feels like a good time. You deserve it. You genuinely worked hard. And here's where it gets quiet and expensive at the same time. The week starts. Monday morning, you grab a coffee on the way in. Maybe $7 with tax and tip. Tuesday, you forget your lunch, so you grab something nearby. $14. Wednesday, you're tired again, so DoorDash wins again. There's a subscription charge you forgot about. Another one that you knew about but kept because canceling it felt like more work than it was worth. You take an Uber instead of waiting because the wait was too long and you just wanted to get home. You upgrade to the ad-free version of something because the ads were making you crazy. None of it feels like a decision, it just happens. And then it's 2 weeks later, payday again, and you look at your account and wonder what happened. Not in a panicked way, just in that low, quiet, confusing way. Where did it go? I wasn't even doing anything that crazy. That's the trap, not the big purchases, the invisible ones, the ones that never felt like choices. Here's the psychology behind it. Because once you understand this part, everything clicks. By the time you get home from work, your brain is genuinely exhausted. Not physically, but mentally. Every choice you made throughout the day pulled from the same limited reserve. What to say in a meeting, how to respond to that email, whether to push back or let something go. Even the small stuff. What to have for lunch, which route to take home. All of it costs something. Scientists call this decision fatigue. And when that reserve runs low, your brain doesn't shut down. It just shifts into a different mode. It starts defaulting to whatever is easiest, whatever requires the least resistance, whatever is right in front of you. That's why you order delivery instead of cooking. Your brain isn't being lazy, it's being efficient with the energy it has left. Cooking requires decisions. Delivery requires one tap. That's why you click buy now without pausing. The frictionless experience was designed that way. Someone spent years making it as easy as possible for you to spend money without stopping to think. And it works. It works on everyone. That's why subscriptions pile up. Signing up is a two-step process. Canceling requires you to find the setting, confirm, maybe answer a survey, sometimes even call someone. So they stay, month after month, quietly. And here's the part that really lands when you sit with it. Every time you make one of these easy, convenient choices, your brain gets a small reward, a little dopamine. It feels good in the moment, even if it's just the absence of stress. And your brain files that away. Next time you're depleted, next time you're overwhelmed, it pulls you right back to the same solution, the same apps, the same habits, the same quietly expensive pattern. You are not bad with money. That's not what this is. You're just responding to systems that were specifically designed to take your money with as little friction as possible. And no one ever helped you build a counter system. So here's the shift I want you to feel. The problem is not your paycheck. It's what happens in the hours right after it hits your account. That window, those first 24 to 48 hours, is where your financial future is actually decided. If nothing intentional happens in that window, your money doesn't sit still. It moves, on its own, into all the places it always goes. I learned this slowly and then all at once. And when I finally understood it, I stopped trying to be more disciplined. I stopped trying to want less. I just built a simple routine, something I could run in about 20 minutes on payday. And over time, that routine built something real. Here's what it looks like. The first thing I do when money hits my account is separate needs from wants. Not loosely, specifically. I look at the actual number and ask, what does this month genuinely require? Rent, utilities, groceries, gas, minimum payments. That's the foundation. I add those up. That's the non-negotiable pile. Everything else is optional, even the things that feel necessary. The second step is assigning every dollar a role before I spend a single one. Not a rigid 50-category budget, just a simple question for every dollar. Where is this going? A number goes to essentials, a number goes to savings, a number goes to investing. And yes, a real number goes to living, to fun, to spending freely and without guilt. But that number has a limit, and I know what it is before anything leaves my account. The third step is automation. Savings and investments move automatically on payday. The same day the money comes in, part of it goes straight out to where it's supposed to be. I never see it sitting in my checking account. I never have the conversation with myself about whether I can afford to save this month. It's already gone to the right place before my brain has a chance to argue. The fourth step is adding friction to impulsive spending. I removed saved card details from certain sites. I deleted a few apps that made spending too easy. I didn't eliminate anything. I just made it slightly harder. Harder enough to create a pause. And in that pause, I make a better decision almost every time. That's the whole routine. 4 steps. 20 minutes on payday. Nothing complicated. Nothing that requires willpower every single day. Just a structure that runs so your money has somewhere to go before the week takes it. I want you to think about your own life for a second. What do you usually do the day you get paid? Not what you plan to do, what actually happens. Where does the money go in the first 48 hours? If you traced every dollar from your last paycheck, what story would it tell? For most people, it's not a story they chose, it's just what happened. Because there was no plan. And without a plan, money finds its own path. It always does. Now imagine a different version. Imagine checking your account on a random Wednesday and not feeling that quiet dread. Imagine watching a savings number grow month after month, not because you're depriving yourself, but because you built a system that works while you're busy living. Imagine feeling like your money is going somewhere intentional, like you're not just surviving each pay period, but actually building towards something. That's not a fantasy. That's just what happens when you stop reacting to your money and start directing it. The stress doesn't disappear overnight, but it slowly gets quieter. And in its place, you get something that feels a lot like confidence. That's what the routine gave me, not just the money, the feeling of being in control of something that used to control me. And that feeling, it turns out, compounds just like interest does. Before you go, I want to ask you one simple thing. What's the one thing you always spend money on right after payday? Every single time, without fail. Drop it in the comments. I read them. And I think when you see other people's answers, you'll realize just how much of this is shared. If something in this video landed for you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And I'll see you in the next one.